Hi everyone, so today I'm here to do my March wrap up and my April TBR video. I honestly can't believe it's the 1st of April already. This year is going by so fast, and yeah, I really can't believe it's April already. So in March I managed to read 15 books and 2 novellas. I was hoping to read a bit more than that this month, but I kind of had a reading slump again, so I didn't really read as much as I wanted to. But I'm really happy that I managed to actually get through quite a few books, considering I was in a slump for about 2 weeks. So the first book I read in March was Panic by Lauren Oliver. So this was a review book and it's Lauren Oliver, so I was super excited for this one. Despite thinking this was a dystopian and then finding it was a contemporary, I still really enjoyed this one. The whole game of panic and everything that happened, I completely loved it. So I ended up giving that one a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Faking Normal by Courtney C. Stevens. This was also a review book, and wow, this was such a beautiful and emotional book. It had me in tears more than once, and yeah, I really loved it, and I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Stolen Songbird by Danielle L. Jensen, which was also a review book, and holy crap, it was that the best fantasy novel I have ever read. It's about trolls. I loved Cecile, I adored Tristan, and everything about the magic and the trolls was just fantastic. So that one definitely got 5 out of 5 stars from me. And then I read The 57 Lives of Alex Wayfair by M.G. Beherlin. This was also a review book, and it's about time travel, and it was such an amazing take on it. And I adored Alex, and I adored seeing all her journeys into the past, and yeah, I need the second one after that ending. So yeah, I gave the first book a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Dangerous by Shannon Hale. I actually didn't finish this one. I ended up DNFing it. Even though I technically did get to the end because I skipped through it, but I don't even count that because I think I got to about 20% and then just started skipping because I had no clue what the hell was actually going on in this book, and it just didn't capture my attention. I honestly didn't care about it at all, so I ended up giving that one a 1 out of 5 stars, and I was really disappointed because I really wanted to love it. And then I read The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. Oh, I adore Jennifer E. Smith's books. I'm a complete sucker for romance when it's done right, and Jennifer E. Smith just does it so perfectly. And in this one, Owen and Lucy have such natural chemistry and such a natural relationship right from the start that The Geography of You and Me is my favourite of her books so far. And I ended up giving that one a 5 out of 5 stars because I completely fell in love with it. And then I read The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. This is the last book in the Blood of Eden trilogy, and holy crap, what a journey has that series been. Oh, I've had my ups and downs, I've been crying, I've been laughing, and the third book was absolutely spectacular. I loved the way it ended, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because I thought it was fantastic. And then I read White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I read a review copy of this one, but then had to buy my own copy because it was just, there are no words for how amazing this book was, and it's my favourite Jennifer L. Armentrout book ever. I kind of went through it and marked all of my favourite Roth moments, and there are quite a few because I really loved Roth. This is about gargoyles and demons, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of Roth walking about with his top off, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I gave White Hot Kiss a 5 out of 5 stars because it was fantastic. And then I read House of Ivy and Sorrow by Natalie Whipple. This is a witch book, and it started off good, and then I got really bored and lost interest, and then it picked up again at the end. Yeah, there were just parts of this book that I didn't enjoy, elements that I was really confused about and didn't understand why it'd been done that way. I did enjoy it, it wasn't what I'd expected it to be, and yeah, I ended up giving that one a 3 out of 5 stars. And then I read Half Bad by Sally Green. This is another witch book, but this one was fantastic. It follows Nathan, who's half black witch, half white witch, which means he's got both good and bad magic in him, and he's going to be really powerful. And I actually really enjoyed this one, despite the slow moments throughout its the storyline was so gripping when it wasn't slow, and the characters were fantastic. I really loved it, so I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read The Winner's Curse by Maria Rutkowski. This one I actually did really enjoy, despite that at the start. It's just that there were quite a few slow moments as well, or maybe it was just me, because a lot of the books that I read this month seem to have had some slow moments. But I really did love this one. I loved the whole story about the general's daughter and the slave, and he had stuff going on that I was sure was going to lead to a lot of trouble. And yeah, I just adored her writing and the story. It was beautiful, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Poison Princess by Cresley Cole. I really enjoyed this one as well, but again, with the slow moments, I think it's just me. I think I was just having an off month last month, because a lot of books seem to have been slow, and it has to be a coincidence. It had to have been me. But I did really enjoy the story. I was slightly confused about what was going on with the whole Arcana thing, and I had no idea what was going on for most of the book, but when I eventually got it, I thought it was fantastic, and I'm really excited about continuing on with this series, and I gave Poison Princess a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Stung by Bethany Wiggins. This is a book I've been wanting to read since last year, and I just hadn't gotten around to it, but I'm glad I finally managed to get around to it, because I really loved it. It's a dystopian. They're like, I don't know, there's like these people who wake up with marks, and then if you've got the mark you end up going crazy, and I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it without going in depth, but yeah, it was a fantastic dystopian, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Unite Me by Tahira Mafi. These are the 2 novellas in the Shatter Me series, and also Juliet's journals. I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I really loved Warner's story. I wasn't much of a fan of Adam's story, because I don't really like Adam anymore, but I still really did enjoy seeing the slight transformation in this from the Adam in Unravel Me to the Adam in Ignite Me. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for that one. And then I read Don't Even Think About It by Sarah Milnowski. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's about a group of teenagers in school, and they go for a flu shot, and then they end up being able to read minds, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. I found myself laughing quite a bit. I did find myself tearing up a few times, but overall I thought it was a great read, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read in March was Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. I did enjoy this one, but I had major problems with the characters and the fact that I wasn't really connecting with them, even though I was enjoying the story, but I was getting slightly confused sometimes. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but I did enjoy it, and I am still curious to see what's going to happen, but I have major problems with Cole. Major problems. So this month I had 2 favourites again. First of all was Stolen Songbird, because that was the best fantasy novel I've ever read, and such a fantastic debut, and I adored it. And the second one is White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout, because it's Jennifer L. Armentrout and it's the best of her books that I read so far. So yes, loved it, loved them both, and yeah, I just love them both so much. So there we go, that's all the books I read in March. Now on to the books I want to read in April. Okay, so for April I haven't set myself a massive TBR pile because of the slumps I've been in February and March, and I'm kind of hoping that not setting a massive TBR and allowing myself to read what I feel like as well will help. So we'll see how that goes. So first of all, I have 4 ebooks that I want to read that are on my Kindle. So first of all we have Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. Now I have actually already read this one. I finished it at 2:54 a.m. this morning, and wow, yeah, I'll go into more detail in my review. I also want to read Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott. I'm super excited for this one. It's a dystopian and it's been getting fantastic reviews, and I cannot wait. I'm actually going to start it today. And I also want to read Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout, because I love her books and I just want to read more, and I'm also buddy reading these with Brittany from This Is the Story of My Reading Life. I'm also going to be buddy reading How to Love with Brittany too, because we were supposed to read this last month and we never got around to it, mainly because I was in a slump and just didn't feel like reading it. So yeah, we're going to read it this month for sure. And we're also going to read Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. Brittany already has her copy, and I can't imagine how hard it is for her to hold off reading it because it's her most anticipated release of this year, and I haven't got my copy yet. So I will get it soon, Brittany, I promise, and then we can read it as soon as I get it. I also need to read Arclight by Josie L. McQueen this month because I have the second one for review, so I need to get to the first one before I can read the second one. And then I have 8 review books that I definitely want to get to this month. I have more than 8 on my list for April, but I have 8 that I specifically want to make sure I get to, and then if I have time and feel like it, I can get around to the other ones. So first of all, we have Salvage by Alexandra Duncan. This one takes place in space, I think, and there are like spaceships and planets and stuff. I don't really know. I know it's a sci-fi, and I am looking forward to it. I also want to read A Kiss in the Dark by Kat Clark. This is going to be my first Kat Clark book, and I'm super excited because I've heard amazing things about her books, and this one's been getting really good reviews. Sea of Shadows by Kelly Armstrong. I was going to read this one last month, and then I decided to bump it to April instead since it's an April release and I didn't have time last month. I know there's some form of like mythology or something involved in this one, so I can't wait for that one. Also, it's Kelly Armstrong, so yes please. The Forbidden Library by Django Wexler. I can't really remember what this one's about, but I know that I love the sound of it when I've requested it. The Taking by Kimberly Derting. This is going to be my first book by Kimberly Derting. There are alien abductions and people coming back older than they should be. So yes, I really cannot wait for that one. The Fearless by Emma Pass. I adored Acid when I read it last May, so I cannot wait to read her second book because I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome. Sleep No More by April Lynn Pike. Again, I can't remember what this one's about, but I know that I was excited for it. And lastly, Meridian by Josie L. McQueen, because I will be reading Arclight, so I can just go straight on and read Meridian if I enjoy Arclight. So there we go, that's all the books I plan on reading in April. Let me know in the comments what your favourite book of March was and what you're most looking forward to reading in April. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye everyone!